Boys, just calm down. We don't need to throw punches just yet. I just watched 3 premierships in 4 years just to watch this shit again.
The big angry men who run around and smash bodies.
If I see anyone complain or say they can swap Martinelli for Matt and Babette, it's true.
I'm just dreaming of beers.
Hello and welcome back to Uneducated Nuffies, episode 35. I'm in disbelief. I know we said no more disbelief, but I'm in disbelief.
Why are you in disbelief, Jonty?
Because it was Mother's Day. Completely random thing.
Yes, it was Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to everyone who celebrates.
Happy Mother's Day, Kath.
Happy Mother's Day to my mother.
I'm not going to say my mum's name.
Name drop him.
No.
We'll search him on Facebook.
No, well, she's not listening anyway. She's told me outright she's not listening to the podcast.
She's had enough of it.
Anyway, guys, it was Mother's Day on the weekend.
It was.
Not everything happened. What did you guys get up to?
I went out for lunch at a nice restaurant. A bit of a brunch lunch sort of thing with the whole family. It was quite nice. I enjoyed it.
That's good.
Yeah.
How about you?
I worked.
Oh, you're a great
No,
son.
that's such good son
I'm a
work
hero.
there.
No, I had to work on the great sport of NRL yesterday.
That shouldn't have worked. There was no need to go to work yesterday.
Mother's Day's a national holiday for your mother. Come on.
Yeah, we went home. We cooked a lovely dinner. Me and my father. We had a nice
Lots of communication there.
roast lamb. Yeah, it was beautiful, delicious. What did you cook for your mother? Or
Oh, no,
do
we
for
had
your
a
mother?
picnic. We had a picnic out in Lauriston Reserve,
What's that?
Kyneton.
Kind
lovely.
of.
It's
Good-
actually,
good
it was
footy town,
actually
eh?
a very lovely place.
Good footy
Yeah, I
town.
don't
that.
mind it. It's actually all right.
No, it was great. It was good.
Mm.
Now, I have a pet peeve yesterday. I did have to do some late shopping for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And part of it was getting a card. And so I go get the card, and it's at the Tats Lotto. Now, Tats Lotto's not open on a Sunday, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So why was there a guy in front of me checking 20 free tickets on a Sunday?
Because you never know when you might win big.
The Powerball
But-
is normally on a Saturday night anyway, is it not? Or is it Sunday?
But no, it's normally on a
Sunday night, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. So why is he checking 20 free? He had to be like fully waiting for this moment. And also, I had 3 people in a row at least check 10 tickets each.
Could be a schemes.
Yeah, well, everything he won, because he won like 20 of them.
Oh, they did well then.
So he's done well.
Fair enough.
But then he put them
Good on
all,
him.
but then he put it all back on the Powerball.
Yeah. Good man.
It's called investing.
Double.
You don't know what that is?
This is aggressive investing.
Yeah.
This is not smart investing.
No, it's very smart.
Lots of
I like
syndicates. Anyway, thoughts on taking 20 free tickets to a Tats Lotto on a Sunday morning?
I love
I
it.
rate it. I really rate
Get
that
what
highly.
money you need. Double or nothing. Put it on black.
Life's too short to think about these things twice.
He's trying to make more money. What's the
Yeah.
point of making some money when you can make more?
Well, he's going to make the same amount of money tomorrow as well if we go see him.
Yeah, let's get grouse.
Okay.
Love it.
I've got I had a wonderful weekend, by the way. Thanks, Shanti. But
I did ask you how your weekend was.
So, but I did this thing on Thursday night. I took this girl out I'm seeing to a...
Is that a soft launch?
No, it's hard.
Nobody knows her name, though, so it's great. At least the last name. You didn't know the last name.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, mate.
But we went out for dinner and we went to go do some activity. We did an escape room. I don't know if I know you've done an escape
I
room
did
before.
the exact same escape room 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah, we did an escape room at a local shopping centre near mine, and
Did I drop it?
it was at a strike bowling.
Do you want to drop the shopping centre?
Not really. But with this escape room, at the start, I was like, oh, this is a really good idea. I like what's happening here. It's a bit of thinking you have to do. We got through the first room, nice and easy. It wasn't an issue. But this second room, we got the puzzle right, and it took 10 minutes for the sensor to open the key so we could get the thing we needed.
All right, now, quick question. Did you actually get the puzzle right with your own thinking, or was it when you asked the person over the phone?
No, well, we got 2 of the 3 right by ourselves, and we had to ask them over the phone.
Okay.
But we got it right, and it took the sensor 5.5, 6 minutes to actually see, it's right. We'll open the door. So escape rooms are rigged.
No, I think it just was malfunction and you just got unlucky.
Yeah, but that costs us time. Precious time to get out of there.
Oh my god.
You're not getting murdered. This isn't... I don't imagine like how you were on, what's the show that used to be like in primary school where you got trapped? You remember Trapped?
Nah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Faintly.
If you lost, you got kept back in one of the rooms, you have been screaming.
That's like peak 2010s
But
kids
just,
television.
just make sure it's not malfunctioning. If we're doing the thing right, it's going to put a hinder if we know it's right and then it's not working.
Just Ring earlier. Don't wait 10 minutes.
I'm
check the whole thing.
calling strike bowling fraud. Then I want a refund. I
You're
want my money back.
Such a Carlton fan.
such a fraud Carlton fan.
Where can't get involved into this?
Being a
Because
fraud.
it's average.
Jimmy, what did you get up on the weekend?
Had a busy weekend. I had a lot of one thing in particular coming across my social media feed, quite a lot. The Pope selection being broadcasted like it was the NFL draft.
I loved it.
It was
I
the
reckon it's
best.
bigger.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like
We were looking at smoke, not.
no,
Black smoke or white smoke?
They'd have a Pope come up and it would be like strengths, weaknesses, what they've done, all their stats. Like,
At least the
it
Pope's
was
no
a
longer
scout
dead.
report.
And then the one that was is from O Block.
Well, at least the Pope's not dead anymore.
Yeah, well, Pope Leo.
How do you get revived?
Pope Leo is a Villanova alumni. So that means New York are going to win the ring this year.
No, because see, DiVincenzo's a different one, so it can't be Villanova Knicks.
Well,
Yeah.
DiVincenzo's not in playoffs, is he?
No, he is.
Yes, he is.
He's
It's the Timberwolves,
in
idiot.
Minnesota.
Is he in Minnesota?
Yes.
He's probably going to go to the finals.
Yeah. Anyway, it got me thinking about all the possible, like, when watching this, all the possible things you could make into like a sports draft scenario.
What's some ideas you're thinking of, James?
I haven't thought of any ideas, but I wanted to throw the floor to.
Bar hoppers.
Strengths and weaknesses of bars.
Yeah, no, just the bar hoppers. Who's
People
the best?
walking through the door.
Like you could pick out on a group of a night out. Who's,
Just
who's
sit at
gonna
the
be
front
lead
door.
drinker.
And yes.
Like you can just pick the strengths and then you can recruit them to a team.
Do you know Tops Match Attacks?
Yes.
But for bar drinkers. We need that.
That's a great idea.
I like that.
Anyway, that was what got me thinking. 'Cause
I'm
it was
copywriting that
hilarious.
now.
Local basketball players on a Tuesday night.
No,
Josh
you-
Giddey.
Oh, no. He's unfortunately licensed. We can't take him.
Oh,
You can take the guy who dropped 50 on him, though.
Yeah, let's go sort that out. We can make money from
Go
that.
watch Frank's. Oh, they're playing tonight, probably in Frankston again.
Oh, God.
Giddy's probably going off.
By the boundary umpire. There is a pig at full forward.
You need to calm down.
Go to Pines! Come on! I'm from Maui!
Do a push-up with them on top of you, Jakey!
now guys, in life we quite often like to be close. Not as close as this round of footy was though. Closest round in AFL history since it's got changed to the AFL in the early 1990s.
1978, I believe, was the closest. Last time it was closer than this margin. An average score margin of 10.33 with 4 goals decided by less than a goal and 6 games decided by less than 10 points.
Thank you, score man.
That was
That
a great way of saying that.
Statistician.
Anyway, yeah, great round out of nowhere.
Not a single bad game.
Or chopstick
One or
game
two-
would
No,
No,
definitely-
no chopstick games.
Oh, no, there was, but no, great round of footy.
It was great. There were some games I can't watch. And
One of them was yours.
Hey, but
hey, no, ours was great.
to be fair, usually the worst games around are a lot worse than what
Yeah.
the bottom of the barrel was this round, which is
If the bottom of the barrel was the round it was, it's not a bad.
the worst game of the round was
Game.
probably Hawthorn Melbourne, and that was
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
no, I would still rather watch that than something else.
I don't know.
No, that's just St Kilda's fault.
It's not Carlton's fault.
It
No,
is
you are chopstick team.
No, we're not.
St Kilda are worse though. I'm
St
blaming
Kilda
on
are worse.
They're worse.
That's all
for
Freo.
ring up.
Oh, Freo are bad.
Let's talk about
That was a
Freo.
tough watch.
They are
because
absolutely cool.
They
Now-
started so well.
They did, and then they completely screwed it. And also, let me quickly put fair play to Darcy Moore and Billy Frampton for actually putting up a defensive fight
For once,
for once. They won nearly every marking contest possible.
It's not hard when Fremantle's forward line isn't ticking, plus Sean Darcy goes down injured halfway through the game.
Sean Darcy wasn't doing anything in the forward line anyway.
yeah. He's not
No, but then means Luke Jackson has to go in the mid to ruck the rest
Oh
of the game.
no, the
That-
best ruckman on their
that
team.
shouldn't
has to
matter
ruck.
because you still have Amos and Tracy down there.
And Voss.
Well,
and
Tracy's having a shitter of a season, so
No, he's not.
Tracy.
Amos is.
No, Amos is.
They both are.
Tracy's still playing well. He's
Tracy
played one
literally.
bad
Did you
game.
not see the first goal of the game?
Tracy's good.
Tracy's just being.
I was
let down
busy
by
trying to
everyone
escape a
else.
room. That's why I didn't watch the first
Oh my
quarter.
god, so stupid. Anyway,
Freo's ball movement just stopped. I didn't because the first quarter was very direct. It actually looked good. I don't know what happened. They just stopped doing it.
I think it was pointed out when the Freo fans started screaming at Jordan Clark, who was getting the most touches on their team.
Same with Luke Ryan.
Yeah,
just
to
chipping
just
around
run.
the back.
Yeah, they stopped.
No more cheap handballs and kicks.
Lockie Schultz had a great first half until a certain thing happened in the second half.
Okay, that was horrendous. The umps didn't see it, and it's still somehow wasn't the worst thing they didn't see all week.
Yep.
What happened?
Somehow.
His arm was in the air for how long? About 6 seconds in the
6
prime
seconds.
position.
It's like that. If that happens, you're basically looking at 2 to 3 weeks minimum just in bed. Like
Bedridden, not moving.
now,
Well, then he
Lockie Schultz will be playing next week, but
No, he can't.
He's concussed. He's
He
out.
got up and then fell.
no, I mean like not this week, next week.
Yeah,
He will not be back in 2 weeks.
Lockie Schultz.
I will put the house on it. I'll tattoo something on my chest for the pod to be seen if he plays next week.
You also said Phil Thorpe would not play 2 weeks ago. Then he came out and played and didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Thilthorpe wasn't knocked out.
He sort of like a broken finger. It's a fair injury.
You're more likely to play a broken finger than a concussion
Yeah, I
that
agree.
put him out for at least a minute.
you'll be surprised.
If Colin would do that, their medical team needs to be searched.
No. He's done his protocols. Because everyone knows it's concussion. It's not like we can hide it. Everyone knows. Everyone saw it on TV, except for umps, unfortunately. So it's not like he's gonna miss it. But yeah,
Impressive for the Pies to win a game they didn't care about.
yeah.
And especially considering the amount of forward 50s Fremantle had in against ahead
63
of
to
you guys.
34.
29 more inside 50s.
Yep.
And they scored
Well, less. They scored less. They lost.
yeah, but I don't know how many score involvements there were difference.
Only a couple, but 14
It
point
was only a
margin.
couple, but we kicked 15-7, not like 10-15.
A lot of inaccuracy this week too in a couple of
Lots of
games.
inaccuracy.
Yeah. Anyway, Collingwood were just efficient when they went forward as well.
Jamie
So,
Elliott had a career game.
for once, he didn't bully Essendon or Carlton. He bullied Freo. instead.
Yay.
So it means
That's what
he's
it feels
really
like for-
good when he comes to play you guys again.
No,
That's what it feels like for our fans. It's sad. It's bad.
hurts.
And Jack Chris waited a week to celebrate.
Should have done it the week before.
Waited a week.
Best game he's played in a couple of years, I reckon.
He was very
It's
good.
his highest rated game.
Yeah, AFL fantasy
Yeah,
stat wise, yeah.
Yeah, he played great.
He did. Still finally got a rest as well.
Yeah, he got subbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did not need to do anything.
No.
Even Dacos wasn't involved really. Let's go
He
forward.
got the hardest tag of it. He literally
Wagner
had,
was
Wagner
had him in
was
his bum.
literally Wagner's half of his body was in Nick Dacos.
Yeah,
And Nick went forward and then tore him a new asshole trying to defend.
yeah.
But look, it looks like Fremantle and Optus Stadium isn't as big of a fortress as we probably thought it was going to be because that's their second loss there now for the season.
I would say
Don't say it's because you guys are good. I don't think it's as big of a fortress as people are saying compared to like.
I reckon if you go
Brisbane
over
and
there,
Gabba.
you lose it.
We always beat them over there.
I think this year you'll lose it.
No.
You're going off history. You've been shit this year.
We've been shit plenty of years and we're still beating them over there.
Doesn't matter. I think you lose there this year.
One of the games you won there was when Jack News kicked in after the siren goal.
Yeah, and then we had Mark
That
Murphy
was-
kick a winner.
That was
Yeah, so
ridiculous.
all miraculous referee. Yeah, also most of them are ump calls.
No, Murphy
Shocking.
wasn't. Nunes was.
News was an outrageous umpiring call.
Talking about the Blue Baggers, Friday night, I said last week on the pod this is a must-win game to keep the season alive. And look, they won.
They have kept the season alive, yes.
They won with a wounded Blues where we had barely anyone available. We lost McGovern early. Haynes was injured.
Akers went down.
Akers pulled his shoulder. And we lost Cowan. He looks like he'll be out for a couple of weeks. We had no bench. I think we had one person on the bench in that last quarter.
You got a few back. You had 2 or 3 by the end of the game.
But
For a while, it was 1.
Yeah, but
Oh, McGovern as well.
we held off.
Mentioned them.
St Kilda have a lot of questions to ask, but we're talking about it was Spud's game, and isn't it fitting that Harry Mackay was the guy who delivered the big final blow against St Kilda?
He was best on ground all game.
It's crazy how when you guys win, Harry's having the best game of his life.
Yeah.
It's when he's not doing very well.
So are we saying that Harry's the barometer for Carlton?
I reckon
It's not Charlie.
It's not
Charlie's been
Charlie's.
Well, Charlie kicked 3.
Harry
Charlie
has
kicked
been
free,
a
but
better
didn't-
forward this season than Charlie has, and Harry's missed half the season.
Charlie didn't do anything in the second half.
No, he was missing.
I mean, on walkabouts.
Yeah.
Okay, can't keep on saying that.
It's the Saints' fault, though, for making this game horrendous because Carlton dominated the first half.
Yeah.
As we always have for most of this
Yeah.
season.
It's standard Carlton. So,
Second
I
half's
wouldn't be happy about that.
second half's a different story.
but that's not an invitation, Ross, to make the football the worst thing I've ever watched in my whole life.
I think
Because I didn't watch most of the first half because I was out. I was doing something, and then I watched the third quarter at the pub, and I couldn't
You do
watch it.
stuff.
I had to just go drink.
Well,
He said,
I think Ross was being imitated by Voss. So we had Ross the boss and Voss the boss. And
No, we try and actually play some exciting football. We're just
try,
not,
not very
we,
good.
we're just not good at it.
exciting football. Hey, everybody that's good, go play football. Everyone else, don't do anything bad.
Yeah, and it works. You guys do it.
No,
No,
we actually
Collingwood
don't-
are a team.
We have a game plan. If you haven't noticed,
What's that?
our coach is kind of the best coach in the comp.
Yeah. Nah, but Carlton did drag themselves over
We
the
did.
line. It was a bit worrying for a little bit in the last quarter.
Yeah,
They got a close spot.
I was listening to it at work. I'm like, oh, please just get over the line. And they did, thank goodness. I think the next 2 or 3 weeks are going to be a massive
You have Sydney and Sydney this week,
question.
which is a big game.
I think if we beat Sydney, the season is well and truly alive.
You'll be-
Finals can be on the pick. We'll be in the finals.
You'll be 5-5 if you win that.
Yeah, and we'll be in the 8.
Maybe. You might not.
Yeah.
No, because there's teams are playing each other that will drop out no matter what, as long as we win.
You're
I
being
thought-
very optimistic that you're going up there and winning.
Sydney and
Oh
Sydney
no,
is
I'm
different. I
saying
mean, they
that
were
if we can win
horrendous
that
this
game,
week.
I haven't tipped us, but if we can win that game, considering how they played, actually, and we'll talk about them
We'll get
later.
to that,
They
yeah.
played this week. There's all the chance we can beat them when we play our best football, and we had our best player this season back in Jack Silvani.
Yeah,
Silvani
he was-
is great. He's
You
playing very well.
Just give him a bag and a half, please. He needs this money. He's
I
been
think so.
our best player all season. It's not even close.
I think St Kilda will pay him.
Yep.
They're not going to be able to pay for both of them. If they go to
DeConing
Coney,
won't go there now.
you don't reckon?
I also think it's dumb they're going to go for DeConing because Marshall equaled DeConing's performance, if not better, him on the
Yeah, I know.
weekend.
And but the problem is, if now that looks like the Coney will stay, what's going to say Jack to go over there? Why is he going to play for St Kilda?
Because
Dad.
they'll go offer more money.
Dad.
I literally had this conversation with you earlier because
Dad.
in
Dad.
Stephen hates.
Two-
say,
yeah,
Yeah,
two
but
things.
but Stephen hates Jack. Why would he want to go play for his
No,
dad? Who
he
hates him?
doesn't hate Jack. He
hates
hates
Carlton.
Carlton. And what I was trying to say to you beforehand, and it's, you can't get this through your thick head, is that if you're paying the Koning, you're paying a massive increase. You want to go get people as well to try and keep this thing going.
and you're already the salary cap's already bursting.
No, we've got money. Well, no, I
No,
said
you
this.
don't.
We've got
You have
plenty
no
of money.
money left.
You've got nothing. You're already at
You have
nothing.
like 6 players on $1 million.
You've got to
least.
get rid of people to get up.
I don't
You would definitely.
think so.
You're-
Ripper, Charlie, Harry,
No, you
Wiedering, Walsh,
Remember, you had to get rid of Kennedy to pay people.
Williams.
No, Williams isn't.
Yes, he is.
He's dropping down at the end of the season. His new contract
He-
starts in.
Yeah, but
It
it won't
goes
be.
down.
It won't be as low as you think.
Oh, I'll get lower.
McGovern's on a lot still. There you go. There's a lot of them.
We'll move on to Saturday football. We had some really good games, but one of them that was not a good game was Hawthorn Melbourne. Hawthorn are just running along with 3 wins, unconvincingly, really.
I'm putting a watch on Hawthorn for the next 3 weeks. They've got Gold Coast in Darwin, Brisbane, and Collingwood.
That's a tough run.
Hardest 3 games you can get right now. All the top 4.
I think if
Up
they can
Hawthorn.
win one of those games, they'll be happy.
Oh,
I
I want
think-
2.
If you're Hawthorn, you want to because you want to prove that you actually
Probably.
go.
If you go 1 and 2, that's a serious.
Well,
fraud
they did
watch.
look Melbourne. They did make Melbourne look good. Well, they aren't bad this year, Melbourne.
Well,
they haven't.
They're
Looked
bad.
terrible.
Melbourne are bad.
Melbourne are bad, but they do look like they play good football. The eyes deceive what you're actually watching.
The main positive of Melbourne is Harvey Langford.
Oh, he is
a
a
right
guy.
star
he looked
candidate,
awesome.
right up there.
He may be the favorite right now.
I think he is.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of good games.
But it's kind of a snooze fest.
It is. But looking at some performances, this guy sort of people have noticed him a little bit, but he's really sneaking through as a chance for All Australian. That's Jack Gunston. He's playing some really good footy at the moment. He's tied 3rd in the Coleman.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. But also Jack Higgins is tied 3rd in the Coleman too.
Yeah. Also, look at how many opportunities Jack Gunston gets. He kicked 3 goals for.
Yeah.
That's
they,
not.
they all came in the last as well.
Yeah, but a lot of
Yeah.
them weren't leading options. He had to get his own footy.
Yeah, he's been doing it all year. But when you get 50 billion inside 50s a game,
Also, if
Eventually
you're
gonna
the,
get
if you're the
chances.
Hawks, are you wanting 34-year-old Jack Gunston to be the man carrying your forward line?
No, of course not. They're waiting for Lewis to get back.
Yeah.
oh well,
Once
they need
Lewis
more
gets
than
back.
Lewis.
Because Marby Chol is not good enough to be playing as a key forward.
Well, he has got votes in this in the Modal medal.
Yes, somehow.
Medal.
Has
So-
one good game a year.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm putting a little fraud watch on the Hawks for the next few weeks, and if they don't play well, look out. But they can really prove themselves as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know who else is on Fraud Watch? Continuing to be on there?
I think both of these teams were.
Well, no. One more than another.
One more than the other.
Sydney
It's the team that made the grand final last year.
yeah, the ones biggest frauds alive.
Oh, they are.
I did remember.
terrible.
I did tip this, so I'm giving
I know,
myself
I
a
know.
massive pat on the back.
You also had some bad tips, but we won't go. We'll talk
Hey,
about
no,
that
no,
later.
no, no. AFL, I'm pretty much right so far.
AFL, you are. Other sports, you aren't.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sydney, ill-disciplined, didn't know what to do, and then when
Oh.
they finally got up and about, could not kick a single goal for the life of them.
No.
They had so many chances. I watched that last quarter. I was sitting at home watching it, and they probably had about 5 chances where they should have converted at least a goal. that they just blundered. There was one where they had 4 players run into the forward line. They took a mark, and
And
he
he
decides to run outwards away from goal.
He handballed it the wrong way.
It's just so bad. And
They also, in the third quarter, had the worst miss of all time.
Francis.
Aaron Francis.
revenge game.
So many chances.
Still waiting.
But I think the biggest talking point coming out of this was how undisciplined Sydney were. They gave away 7 50-metre penalties in the game.
First three goals of the game, 50-minute penalties.
Yeah, 3 were in the
All three
first
of them.
quarter itself. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be seeing more than 2 in a game. But it wasn't like they were even stiff calls. It was actual.
No, they were all,
they were
They were all there.
there.
So Coxie must be in the coach's box thinking, "What the bleep?"
Yeah, that's
am I
not
came out
Coxie's
doing?"
fault. That's the
How
players.
many 2K time trials are they running this week?
3 back to back to back.
No, I reckon 10.
7,
reckon.
1 for each 50.
No, they just need to learn to stand on the mark, not move.
No, but moving's fun. That's
Right.
the whole point.
Enough Sydney chat. I'm moving on to Essendon because whilst the second half was very concerning, as it always is the last couple of weeks, the first half was a little glimpse into what this team could be in a couple of years.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You saw, because often this year Zach Merritt's had to be Superman and carry everything over the line. With a hard tag, this was a sign of what the other players in the team can step up and get us over the line. Guys like Nick Martin, who was best on, Andy McGrath stepping up as vice captain.
Zach Reed's best game.
Zach Reed looks like a
Zach
star.
Reed is all Australian Smoky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a
I
good
would say
Right
that.
now, he's all Australian Smoky. This is the guy that we drafted in top 10 a few years ago.
Even watching Day Wilkes, is that his name?
Day Wicks, yeah,
Day
first
Wilkes.
game.
He looked good. That first goal he kicked, where he's run through about 3 blokes to get through there, was great goal. He's even promising.
Even on the wing, Saito Hooley had his
Kicked his first goal.
full game, not as a sub, in the senior side, and had a very good game on the wing.
There's a lot of promise, but I still think there's still a lot of
Oh,
issues in the team considering
Oh,
they dominated for as much as they did in that first quarter and then disappeared in that second quarter because Sydney
Second half.
ran over them in that second half.
Well, this is 2/3 of a future good team. They're still a third away from
I think
being.
we're still one good key forward away to help with Caddy,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then probably another key back, just
Yep.
a reliable key back. We did see Lewis Hayes play, unfortunately done his ACL,
Yeah.
which is the 5th season injury for the year for us.
I
That's
think if you can have someone like Ben Mackay go back to the form when he originally was at North Melbourne and he does it at Essendon, then you could say that's your main key forward you'll after, but he just hasn't showed it.
Well, what North Melbourne, Mackay? Are we looking at
I
2020
say,
or are we looking at 2023 when he was really phoning it in?
No, the 2021.
I would say the
It's
start.
a good
of,
one.
I'd say the start of last year, Ben Mackay is the one you need when he came in last year and was playing to his worth. But look, good signs to be 5-3 with the injuries and the young team we have is great. We're not playing finals. Kane Corns thinks we're the next Hawthorn. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did see that. Said that on Fireball Friday. Fireball Monday.
Not true.
No, not playing good enough football to be doing that.
No, but good signs. Happy with another win. Take
There's
it.
promise to come.
Yeah.
Well, those 2 games were the worst 2 games on Saturday because we had 2 absolute blinders on the night.
Oh yeah.
The showdown was elite.
Yep.
But
I love the showdown.
Oh, the showdown's so
I love
good.
it.
But Darwin provided us one of the best games in a long time up there.
That's just 2 very good teams.
Just 2 immovable objects versus an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
Jesus nearly saved the day, but
He did.
Doggies just couldn't pull off Gold Coast.
The Darwin Suns are
They're-
a scary team.
Move them up there. Just move them there.
Yeah.
I've never seen Dimmer look like he just shit himself in that last quarter for so long.
Dimmer wanted
He
to-
looked so constipated in the fourth quarter of the coach's box.
Couldn't breathe.
That post shit look he had up at the game. Just and once again though, it's just no one on the Suns stood out.
No, but
It's a team system.
that's almost a good thing you want.
Yeah,
if you
100%.
have if you have 19 to 22 players all chipping in doing consistent things, what we did see, that's what you want as a football club, especially for a club like Gold Coast.
That's what I was trying to say before I got cut off rudely.
Yeah, it's a great thing. It's awesome.
Because Doggies, you can tell. You look at the actual stats from everyone in the game. Doggies were
they-
so top ended. It was not funny.
I think in the fantasy, which is not everything, but they have the top 7 players on the fantasy.
You can see how impactful it is when they lose 2 of those players because you saw at the start they struggled early on.
Well, no Liam Jones and Lobby was put up front, and you just can tell instantly the defense is not there.
But is Jones I don't think he's what he was
No, definitely
last year.
But it doesn't need to be. He just
Yeah,
needs
but
to marshal.
Is he even going to be getting a game when they're fully healthy?
He just needs to marshal. Because that's what Doggies lack right now. They lack the marshal it down back.
Yeah, Rory Lobb can do that.
No, he can't.
He's an intercept player. at
He's too
best.
busy getting new haircuts. So
Especially then when you're putting Buku back up forward.
Yeah, you're
defender
committing
there.
too many defenders up forward.
How about Buku jumping over McAndrew
was
too?
so-
That was huge.
Sorry,
He leapfrogged
That is
him.
impressive.
He was Mac ain't small.
No, he's a tall man.
We had a doggies fan and he was going berserk over it.
He also kicked a brilliant snap as well.
Oh yeah.
So that was the absolute walking into the provincial and having someone just start screaming out,
Buku! With the new Buku fan club.
oh,
Yes.
but brilliant finish. Umps didn't ruin the final quarter for once.
Always do.
Yeah, no, the
No,
doggies
they
came.
didn't.
Oh, they
this
didn't.
time.
The doggies
This
came
is
back
rare.
hard.
Yeah.
4 in a row to make it 3 points.
The final 5 minutes were just so physical,
Yeah.
and they did not do anything about it.
To be going that hard in the last 5 minutes in that heat as well.
Yeah.
The conditions very tough up there.
Both teams look brilliant.
Yeah.
Both
I'm a bit
poised.
worried about what's going to happen with them when we play the Dogs this week. I think it's
I
gonna
think
be
you're
a bit
getting.
of a smoking.
I think you're getting smacked.
It's out. We're due.
Whack.
Yeah.
However, looking at the other game on Saturday night, the showdown obviously always lives up to our showdown 57. Is the showdown the best game of football each year on the calendar? I can't remember the last time a showdown was shit.
No, it's not often shit.
It's not. It's because both teams are either really good, really shit.
Even
one-
during that period where Port were making prelims and Adelaide were at the bottom of the ladder, it was still a good game.
Oh, I think it's the best round, the best game of the fixture each season, without a doubt.
it's definitely.
I think it's
think
better
it's
than
the-
Carlton Collingwood.
I think it's the biggest hatred between two
Yeah.
teams in the AFL because Carlton Collingwood's that more traditional, older rivalry. This is just pure, we hate you.
yeah.
Even the press conferences, they just refuse to acknowledge each other.
Ye-
Nice.
I hate yous on that one.
I hate you.
Good job, mate. That's
Thanks,
really
Jason.
good timing there.
Thanks, Jason.
But it's Collingwood to Carlton. It's just been so much Collingwood domination that no one cares about you guys anymore.
but it's
Fuck
just,
up.
It's just the old.
I'm sorry.
It's true.
When have you been good recently that has actually mattered?
2023.
And who won the flag that year?
We should have been in the grand final against you.
You choked.
Well, it's a crazy thing, right? There's a thing called past the first quarter.
You choked. No. Yeah. Port Adelaide is just pure hate,
It's
which we need more of in footy. I reckon. Just like there's just like
It's the only derby that's
Intense
pure
one.
hatred, in my opinion.
Western Derby a bit.
Oh, I don't think it has that hatred that Adelaide have.
Hawthorn will become one.
Why? Giants Doggies different. a little bit.
Adelaide actually care about football, and that's a good thing.
Doggies Giants don't really hate each other. They just
Well,
really
it's
play
also
into
not
it.
a rivalry.
They-
anymore, 'cause
they-
the Doggies just beat them every time.
The rivalry started because of that 2016
and then all the stuff that
prelim.
happens afterwards.
Yeah.
But unreal showdown. Great game as well. 5-point margin in the end.
Adelaide did pack it up early.
They did.
They
They
did-
did get
they
that
did.
little lead where Rankin kicked those 2 ridiculous goals.
How's the one off the floor too? He kicked.
The best
Only
passage
Isaac,
of
only
minutes.
Isaac Rankin can do that in the AFL.
Is he?
He's
Is he? I think you said it Saturday night. Is Isaac Rankin a top 10 player in the comp at the moment?
I'm
Yes.
saying he's closer to 5 than 10.
He's definitely top 10.
He's
His natural ability is off the scale.
he's being utilized very weirdly this year.
It's good though.
It's working well.
Mid forward for him is perfect.
Yeah,
He's playing like a Petrarca style football, but not as. He's a bit more flashy.
He did play more like Cozzy Pickett in that game where he was only being in minimal stoppages.
But he's better than Cosy Pickett is.
Yeah, way better. So no, I'd say he's top 5. In my own personal opinion. But no, he generally took over the game, and then Adelaide tried to defend it, and then Finlayson kicks the goal out of the pack, just ridiculous. As Port were coming back, and then just holding on. Holding
Mark
on.
Keane, game saving
One of
mark.
the greatest
Good
marks
grab.
you could
Huge
get.
mark.
One of the greatest marks. I don't know
At
about
that time,
It was
one
a
of-
good mark.
It's a very clutch mark.
It was a good mark.
over the head.
It was. I'm not saying it's a good mark.
Brave clutch. It was very well done.
It's a good mark.
And then just game-winning point. Just so funny.
That's all you need.
Yeah, run away and kick a point. Awesome. Anyway,
Waste time.
We thought Sunday wasn't going to be the greatest day for footy. One game looked good, the other 2, not too sure. The combined margin of these 3 games was 6 points between all 3.
What a game! What a day of football.
Unreal.
just
So
a,
good.
Just the viewer.
It was so good.
Who thought Richmond and West Coast would actually be a good game?
No one.
Well, no, it's because you have to remember shit versus shit.
But the problem is
Yeah, but
they
it
weren't
looked-
both
it
shit. They
looked
were
good.
actually
Yeah.
both playing competent football.
Well, it's like it's when you're trying out new systems. When you play the shitter teams, it's going to look better.
Yeah.
And both of them are trying out their systems, and both of them look better because they're playing against.
There
the
was
shit teams.
16 lead changes in this game.
Yeah, it was
Tim Taranto had one of the greatest first quarters of all time. He had 14 disposals at quarter time.
and he didn't even get one of the best players on the ground.
Yeah, I know. Disappeared.
But yeah, even like the guys like Harley Reid looked better for West Coast.
Yep.
A lot of them, Liam Baker, revenge game, obviously didn't get up.
Jack Graham had a great game as well.
Yeah. Game saving tackle though, Tom Brown.
It was so funny his explanation for it.
Unbelievably clutch.
Just saying, oh yeah, I was going to get absolutely rinsed in the review if I didn't go chase him down.
Good honestly that.
You feel bad for
Tom Gross.
Tom Gross, third game or something like that. He's only played a couple games and does that.
So why do I see him Febby on the run sheet?
I'll explain why. But I feel bad for him, but he had so much time to get rid of that ball, and he went for glory and then got hunted.
I would say he's just a young player who just got caught up in the lights a bit because it's a pressure situation on the MCG.
They're playing Richmond at the G. There was
Yeah, for
2,000
West Coast,
people
anything's
there.
pressure for West Coast.
There was 35,000 there. It was a solid crowd for Richmond.
Richmond fans will go to anything
Where
they
there are a
think they
chance
can
to win.
Yeah.
Why was there 100,000 there every week in 2018? They loved it.
Yeah, like seriously. Let's put some respect on Richmond playing shit teams.
Hey, Richmond will not win the wooden spoon now. They're well clear of
They're
it.
guaranteed not to at this point.
3 games ahead. They've done it.
I don't think guaranteed, but
No, they are.
they are.
Do you think West Coast are winning 3 games this year?
Who knows?
They're not winning 3 games.
This season doesn't make sense, so I don't know.
West Coast are not winning 3 games.
Yeah,
I'll
but
tell you
North
that.
Melbourne could still win the spoon. They're only on 1 win.
They're on 6 points now.
If West Coast win 3 games this year, I'll willingly do some punishment at the end of the year. There you go. I'm willing to do that.
We'll turkey slap him.
You can turkey slap me if West Coast win 3 games.
Clip that.
Oh my god! All right, let's leave the turkey slapping behind. Giants have completed the absolute history. Can you stop laughing, please? As they take it 5 wins in a row at GMHBA. You did call it last week that Giants will go down and do it.
Well, yeah, that's only team in this century to win 5 games in a row at GMHBA.
It's also Adam Kingsley's the only person to have a 100% win rate against Chris Scott.
Adam Scott.
That's Adam Scott against Chris Scott.
Yeah, no.
100% win rate.
Do you reckon a feature of them being so good at GMHBA is that they play a lot of obscure and different grounds?
Yeah.
Well, they have played 8 different grounds in 9 rounds.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So
Okay, one of them is that they choose to play in Canberra.
No, they have to.
they have to.
They can't play because Giant Stadium's like a showground precinct.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't.
There's
It's
no
not a
footy there
footy
right
ground.
No, they can play a CJ. They can ask.
Sydney hate them. Can't do that.
No.
Anyway, once again, Jesse Hogan proves that he's probably the most influential player in the comp. when he's
22
when he's on.
disposals, 7 goals. Ridiculous.
The difference between Geelong and Giants was that Jesse Hogan was accurate and Geelong were not.
Well, Geelong missed 2 or 3 or 4 in a row at the end of the game.
Blitzarves could have won the game,
Stengel
It
could have
was
won the game.
unfortunate. Just hit the post.
but
But it's 30 metres out straight.
That is true.
I didn't make the point. He should have just dropped it. That
Give it to
Dangerfield.
Dangerfield.
He
Give it to
tried
the
to.
experienced person.
He
He tried to. But yeah, great game of footy. Both teams over 100 points.
Somehow they weren't even the best game in the round. Of the day.
That was.
That definitely was.
You don't reckon? I thought the last game was.
No,
He was still boring as batshit the first half of this one.
no. This game was game of the round. I think game of the year. I think it was better than Geelong Collingwood.
Oh,
In terms of the quality of footy.
quality of footy, yeah.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
because
in the
game was
first-
terrible.
Yes.
The first half was just like straight down the middle, just in between, just going back and forth. 2 quality teams going at it.
Now we need to talk about it.
Tassie happened.
I've never seen a single person who we know is a friend of the podcast celebrate a draw so hard in my life.
we know Patrick. He was intern for a few weeks.
Oh, that's right.
One
Intern
week.
1 week intern.
Yeah, he's a North fan. If he couldn't figure that out,
The amount of celebration
And derogatory terms.
that was towards you because you had him trying to stir him up. North maybe had the best performance they've had all season.
Oh, 100%. That was the best game. Yeah.
That was
I
brilliant.
mean, this has
from
been
them.
a bit of a build for North. Last 2 weeks have been a lot better because they hit rock bottom against Carlton.
Well, yeah.
when
They
were
probably
horrible.
should have beaten.
They should have been Essendon for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Port, they had a chance. Again, they had a chance yesterday as well. They got themselves right back into it.
Gold Coast looks impressive. Like they've had some good games.
Obviously, the Melbourne win was great
Yeah.
as
I
well.
thought Zerha probably could have taken a bit more time taking that shot. I
think-
get the reason why he was trying to rush to
They are
in
all,
case it didn't
they
go.
are,
They had
they are
to.
all scarred up to Finbar Maley last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, probably bigger point is that they were also trying to make sure they actually
Got at least a score.
or get it in the there. Because Zerha, this actual position of shooting,
No, tough shot to goal.
like Jamie Elliott's the only person that can do that. So
Yeah.
leave it. Anyway, their whole forward line was arse, other than Lucky. But both Brisbane, Hipwood had one of the chances to steal the game. He screwed it up. He's having an okay season. So
Kick 3 as well here, Wood. He's
Yeah.
had a few good games.
But even that last 30 seconds, North had that inside 50 and they sprayed the kick and led to that spoil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how good was Charlie Coleman in the last few minutes?
Oh,
Just intercepting
saviour.
That was some of the best.
Their backline's
intercept
screwed
marking work.
without him.
everything. Oh,
That whole final quarter, he was elite.
yeah.
He was just stopping everything.
He has to build that defense around him now.
You do.
He's the key pillar.
Yeah, he's
Would-
so young too. He's like 23, 24.
23. Yeah, he's doing very well.
Especially without Griffin Logal.
Yeah,
Those
no,
boys
no
who
experience around him at
Yeah.
all, so he's doing very well.
Before we move on to our first segment of the AFL, when we move on, I just want to talk about one thing quickly because I hear it all weekend. Commentators talk about it, and I think it's the most useless and worst stat in the AFL, and that is meters gained. Meters gained is fucking useless of a stat. You can bomb the ball long 50 meters. Oh, it's 50 meters gained.
Sorry, I just need to quickly do something. Okay, cool. I censored it.
It's so useless and terrible because you can have someone come off halfback, kick it long 8 times, 450 meters gained. It should actually be a stat. Instead of meters gained, it should be effective meters gained because that's actually more of a sensible stat.
Do you know what meters gained is? It's XG.
Yeah, it's the XG
It's
of
XG.
AFL.
It's terrible.
I think this is preaching to the choir, because I think everyone's been pointing out how stupid it is. But the reason why stats nerds love it is because it's like, oh, look, he did have good game. Back my point. No, it's
I mean, it's just an advantage, like say when like a Connor Rosie's gone back to halfback. Obviously, where he's playing on the field,
Yeah.
you're just going to get more of it naturally.
I've been hearing so many commentators talk about meters gained. Just stop it.
I think it's okay. It's okay if you're getting it in the forward half and getting it because you're obviously creating a chance. That is when it's
No, but that's where it
there.
should be effective. If it's an effective meters gained stat, that's actually more impressive because instead of having, say that someone had 350 meters gained, someone who had 700 meters gained, but the person with 350 had 250 meters effective compared to the 700 only had 150 effective, then you can actually say, oh, this person had a really good game. He was effective getting the ball forward.
It's the same thing, just by the way we talk about disposals. If you're not efficient, what's the point?
yeah.
So, valid point.
Yeah, it's a valid point, but yeah, I think it's preaching to the choir. It's a bit hot in here. It's just really long hot tags.
No shit. You should have made it shorter. Told you to make it shorter about a month ago, and you haven't done anything about it.
be asked.
I forgot about the hot take I had.
Now, I did something I don't like for this one.
What have you done?
I watched a bit of Fireball Friday.
Yes.
You had to go this way.
Come on.
You had to go. You had to go to
Coming
that.
around.
It was
you had to
terrible.
go. You had to go to that.
I
low-
love it. The quiz was so
actually,
good.
No, it
You
was
had to go.
actually
You had to go to that low point to get a hot take.
no. I was putting on because we were talking about Collingwood. It was actually the worst half an hour of my life.
I loved it. We didn't
was-
start the fight.
Shut up.
It was just Kano and Kingy fighting.
I love it. It's great.
And a part of the fight was they're talking about Luke Jackson and Sean Darcy. Now, this whole thing was probably the worst argument I've ever seen in my life. It was Kingy saying that Sean Darcy offers lots of value, while Kane Corns said, just get a secondary ruckman that doesn't have to play actual ruck, like it's in the actual ruck.
Yeah, okay, like a forward rock.
Now, Kingy was discussing the fact that backup rucks don't do that well in the ruck. To which Cornsey was talking about the fact that Luke Jackson, like when they're playing and all that, have good stats. This is what David King said. Backup ruck stats are against backup rucks.
I can't back up Fireball there.
Really, Kingy? Really?
That's all I'll take.
That's a really hot
Thanks,
take.
King.
Best analyst in the game.
Get
once
the
again,
HP laptop
going at
out.
it.
I think the HP laptop's burnt down. If that's the case.
It's just a plastic
It's just a
folder
screen.
thing. It just doesn't
It's
show
just,
anything.
it's just a monitor.
Because yeah, that was one of the, and Corner was like talking about like it's like Corny, tell me like at least like 5 good backup ruckmen.
They're not meant to be.
They're not supposed to be good. They're supposed to be just there to do the job.
They're there as an insurance.
So
That's horrid.
Kingy, what the fuck?
I've got one here. I forgot to put it in the run sheet. Sorry, but I got one here. I come across on my Instagram. It was a quote off 3AW radio actually.
Well,
Oh god, is this AM?
An ex Collingwood legend actually.
Oh no.
You familiar with Tony Shaw?
I
I know
did
that man.
this.
He is the biggest Nuffy of all time.
If you're not familiar, Tony Shaw, ex Collingwood captain.
Premiership captain.
He captained the grand final in 1990 when Collingwood beat Essendon. And if you don't know, in that game there was a massive brawl
Yep.
for which Tony Shaw still hates Essendon to this day.
Yep.
He couldn't see past his hate in talking about Essendon on the weekend. That second half wasn't a side you want to have faith in. That won't be good in the finals. Tony, they're not playing the finals. That's a well-known fact that no one thinks Essendon's playing finals this year. The fact that they're just near the finals right now is just a good effort.
This is just Essendon every first half of the year.
Yeah, of course.
They're in finals because no one's figured out how to play football yet.
Yeah. So Tone just hates Essendon.
Yeah, he really does.
So I thought I'd add that one in because all the comments were like, Tony, you idiot.
Steven Seagal, his favourite movie, Steven Seagal. Isn't the Lock Stops meant to be about a straight bloke taking a piss out of his
Steven Seagal, pressure point. Welcome back to Pressure Point. Another good segment we have here. Boys, who's in the pressure point for the coaches this week?
Well, let's quickly
Who's still there?
amendments.
What have you done with Clarko?
Clarko's there, but good result. I've minus 10 pressure points down to 90. He's down to 90 pressure points. now.
So like, he can't get a win, so he's just going to be there permanently.
Yeah. He's at 90. Dean Cox is now at times 1,000, not just times 100.
Was that his fault though, or was that his players just being stupid?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Right. Cool.
We're corrupt here.
Long Muir, how many points are you giving him for?
Pack your bags, mate. It's 4 weeks.
10 million.
So no, he's got 2 weeks to go.
Yeah,
He's lost 2 in a row.
okay. Yeah, he's gone.
Bye-bye.
Ken remains there because whenever Paul loses, Ken goes back in automatically.
Well, just anyway.
put Ross in there.
He's on hot seat and he's leaving. No, St Kilda love Ross too much.
Just because St Kilda love him, we don't love him.
Yeah, but you didn't score a lot, which is when I only
All
reason I
right.
put Ross in the first place.
Do you want to tell Ross he's in the pressure point?
Yeah, you're in the pressure point, Ross.
All right, I hope he gives you a spray. Players, boys.
I actually haven't done too much this week, so if you want to...
Yeah, I think I got one
the
person in the pressure point. You hinted it before. Tom Gross. I know you're a rookie.
That's rude.
Have more spatial awareness. I think you're always going to get hunted when there's people behind you. Don't take a bounce after you've taken 2 steps too. That might help.
Looking up would help.
Yes, that would help. So Tom Gross for me is in the pressure point.
Let's quickly go through some of the other people who are in there before I talk about my ones. Tom Lynch did have a good game for what he needed to do, but still had a few
Still goes
Tom
missing.
Lynch misses. Jesse Motlop still doesn't do anything.
Permanent.
Yeah, permanent.
Toby Green,
Is Toby really saying in there? I thought he was alright.
we can probably remove him from the pressure.
I still think
Toby was
he's
okay.
only had one until he needs to have back-to-back good games. He's been really poo the last couple of weeks.
Why is DeGoey staying there when he hasn't even played this week?
He's in there until he plays well.
Until he plays in the VFL.
Also, Toby Green, it's going to be great when we show the Modal medal current.
Yeah, that is, no, he started off really hot, then just shut the bed.
Tyson Stengel kicked 2 goals 4.
Yeah, he's still in it.
and then got injured as well.
Yeah, he choked.
Now, my 2 ones, return to the gun of pressure point.
The gun. Jeez, really? I've been watching Fireball Friday.
No, you just going to talk about it. Jai Amos is back in there after probably one of the worst forward performances. He had to be put in the wing to get the ball.
Yeah, that's bad.
You know you're doing bad when that happens. Back into just kick some goals, mate. It's
Give Josh Tracy some help.
Patrick Voss is currently the second best option. Not the case. Should not be the case. Jesus Christ, can't speak.
Thanks, Steen.
Shut up. Keep going.
All right, Clayton Oliver. Now, last week missed due to mental health reasons. We believed. And then it came out that he wanted to trade again. Now, Clayton.
I can't say that.
Clayton, maybe if you want to trade with your massive as contract, don't go missing for a whole game.
Was he tagging half that game?
He was.
He was tagging John
They
Newcomb.
did tag. He was tagging.
Why are you tagging?
They wanted to try something different.
Because
He
Goody's
actually-
funny.
He actually wasn't a bad tagger. I'll give him that. He wasn't a bad tagger.
But half of Clayton's good parts is the fact that he can go out and affect the game when he gets the ball.
No, let him tag.
I don't know what Melbourne are doing.
They
to be
also
honest, so.
Melbourne probably have better taggers than Langdon and all that. The regular ones.
Normally it's Viney, but he was out. So
Still, you have Langdon move him inside.
Tom Sparrow tag again.
Yeah, Trent Rivers can play on the wing.
Yeah.
So just do.
No playing Oliver a tagger. He's won too many BNFs for that.
Yeah, there's a certain level. At that level, you don't need to be there.
No, you're too good
All of
for
us
it.
at that level.
Yeah.
So Clayton, don't play tag. and actually play to get a trade. Don't just sit there and wait, because no one's paying that contract if you sit there and wait.
Before we move on, I want to talk about one more person I got in the pressure point that isn't a player or coach, and that's the umpires at the moment. Because bloody hell, we saw probably the worst decisions back to back in the history of the AFL the last couple of
You're
years.
talking about the trip leading into the throw around the post.
There are 4 umpires watching this play. You can clearly see that I don't know who was the guy on the floor that
Hardwick,
tripped.
maybe?
Hardwick that tripped,
Hardwick.
grabbed Cozzy's legs, falls to the ground. Oh, we didn't see that. Oh, did you not even see when Sicily grabbed the ball, throws it around the post, and goes on to play on?
Frankie Cawthorn's back.
Yeah.
And then when you have Andrew Dillon and what's the female person's name?
Laura
Kane. Come out saying, oh, the
Female person.
the umpiring this season, if we can compare it to a round of golf, 72 holes, we're about 2 or 3 under par. No, you're not. You're sitting about 18 over after 18 holes.
Oh,
They are terrible.
It's horrid.
Sorry, I'm just still getting over to Kelly Underwood, the female person.
Yeah, that was bad. But the umpires are hot in the pressure point.
They'll be there the rest of the year because they're going to be at least 3 shockers a week, I reckon.
They're pretty good at it.
Oh, they're amazing.
Let's go to the Cripps Dacos medal.
All rise for the Cripps Dacos.
That's foul. That is foul.
What just happened?
I hope everyone on the pod heard that. Yeah, it was still
Hold on.
loud as. It was still so loud.
Wah.
Anyway,
Have a sook.
back to the medal. Start off with the best game for me.
Oh.
Fremantle versus Collingwood. 1 vote, Shea Bolton had his best game at Freo so far. 2 votes to Jack Crisp, just a week like as we said. And then 3 votes to the clutchest man in AFL history, Jamie Elliott.
St Kilda Carlton, what they call the chopstick game, I thought was a great game. Spud's game. 1 vote to Jack Sinclair, 2 votes to Jack Silvani, Sauce, and 3 votes to Feelings himself, Harry Mackay.
I'm just saying Chopsticks should get 4 votes.
Yep, well done, Chopsticks. Biggest snooze fest of the round, Melbourne versus the Hawks. 1 vote to the man who throws around the post, James Sicily. 2 votes to the man we mentioned earlier, rising star favourite at the moment, Harvey Langford. 3 votes to James Warple, trade bait. I'll keep going because the Bombers never in doubt again. Classic one, boys.
Snake vote.
Essendon versus Sydney. 1 vote, Andy McGrath. 2 votes, Zach Reid. And 3 votes to Nick Martin.
Went up to Darwin where the heat is hot. And there's a lot going on there.
The heat is hot.
The heat is hot.
Hot. No.
We'll bleep that.
Are we talking about that, by the way? Are we talking about that incident?
What?
The Gold Coast Twitter incident?
No.
Good. So it could be bad.
1 vote to John Noble, 2 votes to Ed Richards, and 3 votes to Tom Liberatore.
Now to the showdown, and the frill flop was out, 1 vote. Next up, James Peatling. Great first half. Did disappear a little bit, but still great work in the midfield. He's showing it. And then 3 votes to the halfback flank merchant himself, Connor Rozee.
Boo!
Do you want to keep going? All right, sure. The 2 shit teams doing what they do best have a good game. Tim Taranto, 1 vote. 2 votes to Revenge Game Jack Graham. And 3 votes to Sam Banks.
Perfect. We go to the best game in the shittest place in all of Melbourne. We head down to Geelong. 1 vote to Bailey Smith, 2 votes to Tom Green, and 3 votes to Jesse Hogan.
Down to the coldest place in the world, just Tassie. North Brisbane, the
Breds.
draw. 1 vote to Luke Parker, 2 votes Dane Zorko, and 3 votes to Chom Charlie Comben.
So we're not getting any popularity in Tasmania, are we?
No viewerships in Tassie.
That's good.
Now, we've arrived to the part of the season in the A-League where everyone actually starts to watch the game. It gets exciting. The exciting football. The A-League finals have begun, and what a way we had to start it off. Friday night, Tarneit Ball has won a final. This
Let's
is
go!
absolute heritage.
Who allowed them to play there?
This
Who
is the
thought-
greatest decision.
Who thought, oh yes, it's a final. Let's go play it where there's maybe 3,000 fans.
They
max.
got 3,000 fans, exactly. It was great. It was awesome heritage.
What an atmosphere that is.
3,000 people.
The atmosphere was actually quite good there. I'll give him that.
No.
I mean, it's a small area. The
Yeah,
atmosphere
see,
is quite
the
good.
thing is, right, it's going to be good because there's only 1 stand. That's good. So what's the point?
But it was a good game to start us off on Friday night. Adelaide striking first in 3 minutes to sort of dampen the crowd there. They really sort of set the tone. But Western United were too good in the end. Well, mostly pundits were expecting a blowout. Ended up being a close game, 3-2 to Western United. Bocic scored, I think, the winner. They looked really good, celebrated hard. We got to see some funny after the game things.
How many beers would demolish after the game?
A lot. And we had roaming zappers happen in the change room in the Western United rooms. That was class.
What?
The best part is that football players don't like that. So
They took the piss out of zappers too.
Did not want to be there.
Yeah.
But it was quite cold down there. I'll say that.
Really?
It was very cold.
I haven't heard that 10 billion times over the weekend.
Calm.
It was
Shut
really
up.
cold.
Someone at 5 o'clock, it's cold right now. 7 o'clock, I'm really cold now. 8:30, I'm really, really cold now. 8:31, I'm really, really cold now.
Shut up.
It was cold.
Talking to a wall.
Genuinely.
It was a good game. But then we had another game on Saturday that was actually a good game. Jonty's mob and my mob got over the line.
And mine.
Hey,
I didn't know.
I don't support Western United.
who supports Tarneit Ball? Willingly.
I just said they were in the flag because I thought it was funny.
Willingly support Tarneit Ball.
I'm a Victory fan.
I'm a Victory fan too. I've been to plenty of games.
Yeah, you've
Many
been
more games this season than you probably have.
Yeah, been busy, man.
But Victory had a 2-1 victory over Western Sydney Wanderers. Unlikely victors, but as soon as they got up 2-1, I've never seen a bigger park the bus in my life.
This is
The second half stats are so funny.
heritage victory ball where our coach doesn't know what to do, so he just goes, everyone back there. I can't wait for us to be parking the bus over 2 legs
Against Auckland.
when we're tying. We're just going to take it to pens.
But we've got exciting things. Obviously, Victory and Western United got through. So this week on Friday night, we will have Western United take on Melbourne City at Amy Park.
Thank goodness it's on time.
Damn it!
They've taken it off Tarneit because
Why?
Goodness.
police told us we can't have it there. Security.
Thank goodness.
Security
This is
threats.
such a joke.
And then Saturday night, we have Melbourne Victory versus Auckland FC at Amy Park as well. Couldn't write a script any better. We are all praying that City and Victory get through for a derby final.
There'll be punch-ons of that. There'll be so many
The
punch-ons.
last time they played was when the fight happened in Swan Street. So
Oh, the last 3 years. Bucket incident. Fight in Swan Street. The Ultras are now banned.
Imagine how bad the finals would be.
If the Ultras were there.
But it's looking like it could shape up to be good. We hope it's not a blowout in the first leg, so the second leg actually means something. And please, we don't want the final in Auckland. I beg. There's 3 Melbourne teams. One of them needs to get a home final.
No.
please.
Imagine a Western United Victory home final. Granny.
We'll lose.
Tarneit Ball.
We'll lose to Tarneit Ball.
Eloise, he gets pissed because he didn't get the women's job.
I
Wins
will
the
lose
title.
my mind. I will lose it.
Oh,
Champions League semis were good.
they were great, Jimmy.
Inter Milan and Barcelona was awesome, guys. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Inter were really good.
That was actually a very
we,
good game.
We should talk about that first because that was genuinely.
That's what.
That was one of the best.
Amazing.
ties
It was
I've
the game of the
seen
season. Game of the
One of the
season.
best ties I've seen in a long, long time.
Well, you would have thought when Inter went 2-0 up in the second leg that it's all over. Barca can't come back. I mean, they did. They need to come back again.
It's just pure, just
And then Acerbi to tie the game up again
Yeah.
first goal for Inter Milan
as a 36-year-old.
was very good.
Yeah,
But
and the quality of the goals as well. Like, phenomenal.
It was just a ridiculous game.
then the other leg, PSG know how to set up a tifo.
Then
Their tifo was good,
and it's crazy. It's like Arsenal don't do it any other time, so they didn't know what to do.
but they had the chance. The fans of Arsenal said, "Oh, we'll do the tifo to the club." No, we'll do it. We'll do it. Just a gunners.
Boom.
Gooners.
But PSG played. I didn't think that. I thought Arsenal were the better team of the night, but they just blundered
second
so
leg.
many chances.
Well, it's because one man is there to stop Saka and England fans at any corner.
Donnarumma owns England.
I genuinely think in the first 15 minutes we could have scored 3 goals. He made 3 ridiculous
Well,
saves.
Saka missed an open shot late in the game.
The
Declan
game-
Rice
that-
should have put that header in the top left
You
bin.
can't tell me that Odegaard shot on the around the 10th minute, that volley, you shouldn't. Like, how has he saved that?
It's because
Phenomenal save.
he just must take something when he plays anyone.
You watch, he won't show up against Inter Milan now.
Yeah, he'd be like,
Yeah, he'll let in a shocking goal.
there's a game on today?
No, he'll actually turn up because he used to play for AC Milan, so he wants to beat Inter Milan.
No, I reckon he'll let him win. just to truly spite Arsenal, because Arsenal probably would have won that game.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh well, very very funny. Do you know what's even funnier? The Europa League final. After us absolutely smashing Bilbao over 2 legs,
Yes.
Tottenham's just quietly going through, not
No,
doing
they won
anything
easily,
silly.
yeah.
So now 16 versus 17 in the Prem are playing in the Europa League final.
What is this?
It's an absolute joke.
I've never cheered more for Tottenham to win in my life for them to win the Europa League, just for Ange's sake.
You're a Manchester United fan.
You know, I want Ange to win for Ange. Because then he can when he gets sacked by Tottenham, what you said he's going to do, I think he will stay if they win. But if he does get sacked, he can say, fuck yes, I won you a trophy. How's this?
He's going to finish 17th in the Prem.
Yeah, but he's won them a trophy for the first time in 2 decades.
This will be.
Yeah, but 17th is fucked.
And he can just walk around with the biggest ego because he's gone since the start of the season. I win trophies in my second year.
This is actually this way would be actually biggest true spite to Tottenham, is to because he knows he's going to get sacked. He goes up for like 3-2 in the 75th minute, looks comfortable, like 3-1, and then just pass around the back and then concede 2 goals and go.
No, he won't do that.
Just to spite them.
No, he wants to be able to go out saying his ego is huge, saying he wins trophies in second seasons, because then his nuts will be hanging around Tottenham for ages, just swailing them.
You need to get a grip.
This game needs to be called off. It's actually just...
And it will be the first ever Australian coach to win a European trophy.
Cool.
It's Tottenham.
Call this game off.
It's Ange.
Call this game
Spurs
off.
are Spursy. Let's remember.
Well, I saw you guys aren't sending your staffs over there, whereas Tottenham are sending all their staffs.
We don't.
You guys
send
are
our
being
staff to
stingy.
We haven't sent our staff all Europe, the European campaign.
Yeah, and I saw
undefeated.
I saw you guys are doing a hosting party, and your staff are only allowed 2 free beers.
Yeah,
Two.
we're cutting costs, all right?
You have no money at all.
We have no money because of FFP, all right?
Yeah, you want to go buy
This
a
one's
big
great
striker.
club. Look at this.
No, it's because we're being cheapskates, all right?
So bad.
But talking about the Premier League, all the English teams that are eligible for Europe are now confirmed, both the Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League. So the team, it can still switch in order. We don't know. Obviously, the table's not finished yet, but Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest are all guaranteed. And then either the winner of Manchester United or Tottenham will all be playing Europe next year. So it is confirmed.
So when we play Champions League football and you're playing Conference League,
We're playing. I hope we can play Europa League at least. I don't want to play Conference League.
you're
If
playing.
we play Conference League, we'll win it.
No, you won't.
No.
You'll choke it another way.
No,
Yes.
impossible.
You won't beat a Wi-Fi
Nottingham don't choke.
Wow, go.
Nottingham don't choke.
No, we choked this morning
They
till
have,
Leicester.
they have choked for the last 4 weeks.
AH64941PQ. That's who you're playing next year.
Is the Conference League final Chelsea versus Real Betis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Anthony game. Oh, imagine Anthony scores a 92nd minute winner.
It's an aura shot as well.
It's another free kick.
Is a Conference League before the Europa League?
Yeah, it's Conference League Europa
So
League Champions League.
have him win the Conference League and then bring him back on loan for the Europa League final.
No, because he can't get his registration.
But if he wins and then United wins, he gets 2 medals.
You wait for make it happen.
Most successful player in Europe this year.
Don't make me get out of this seat.
Come on in.
He won't get in the water. He don't want to get his hair wet. Pretty boy.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna call you back.
Oh, Lord.
Hold back your bing bongs for a little bit. The playoffs are still on. New York took a 2-0 lead going to Madison Square
It
Garden.
almost burnt down. The city almost burnt down.
And then luckily, Boston went,
No,
oh, wait.
I want New York to win this series.
No, I do, but not. We can't burn it down yet.
No, we need to wait till they actually win the series. Not
After the first 2 wins, when Michael Bridges made massive defensive
Just see
plays.
J.R. Smith go live about it too.
oh my god.
New York is almost gone off its head.
Did you see any celebrities at the game?
Yeah.
There was at least 50.
They love it.
It was crazy.
What's his name?
It's
Who's there
hilarious.
every week? Spike Lee's loving it.
Oh my god.
You know a clip that resurfaced on my Instagram the other week? Do you remember in 2018, the clip of Spike Lee on the T-pose? Or Tim Hardaway yells at a ref, or someone hits an open 3. That is peak New York.
But luckily, Boston were comfortable in that win.
Hey, my prediction's actually not looking too bad with the way it's going right
It
now.
would be funny though if Boston now win this
Oh,
series.
they probably will somehow.
Like,
Oh, they will.
if New York go so heavily in front,
I think if it's whoever wins game 4 will win the series, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, 3-1 lead will be very tough for Boston to overcome.
And then if it's
especially
2-all,
with
Boston are
fake
advantage.
aura man.
Who?
Tatum.
Oh, did you
Fake
see the
aura
clip of
man.
him today saying he knows the risks of being that guy? He's not that guy.
Jalen Brown carried you to a
He's
chip
such
last
a big
year.
wannabe. It's cringy.
But that series looking good. We also have the other series in the Eastern Conference final. The Pacers taking the piss out of the Cavs today.
You would have thought after Game 3 when Garland came back and the Cavs dominated them essentially that the series would turn, but
80-39 at halftime.
Guys,
And Matterhorn got ejected too.
Pacers might make it to the finals.
Oh, I'm saying this right now.
oh,
if we have, I'm praying that we have, it's a New York Pacers finals and then a Timberwolves OKC because we're guaranteed to have either 3 teams who have never won an NBA chip. Maybe you can count OKC with the Seattle Supersonics. And then 1 team who haven't won in 50 years. So it's actually going to be a new team to win a trophy, to win the chip.
But the Pacers, the way they're playing, there's no...
Crazy.
Halliburton's the star. We know that.
Yeah.
Siakam's playing great.
It's such a good starting 5. It's
Yeah.
so well-rounded.
Just role playing. Everyone playing their exact role. They will be tough to beat.
Yeah.
Even, especially Bing Bongs.
Bing bong.
Playing hero
See,
ball.
Milwaukee weren't that shit.
No, it's making you
You've
not look too
been
bad.
trounced by Indiana 2 years in a row.
Leave me alone.
And then down the west, OKC even the series up today to
That's
make
a
it
great-
2-0.
that's
This is a great series so
great
far.
series.
It's
What
really
what I want in this series is them to announce the MVP right now.
Do it
It's
game
2-0,
5.
And someone just going to get fuming.
Either Jokic gets his brothers on OKC or
SGA and his cringe hood of the boys in his team.
free throw.
is SGA Robin Hood.
Yes.
And then you also have the Timberwolves and Golden State. Looking how Curry's now not going to be available till I think they're saying game 5 or game 6.
Game 6, but I think if Minnesota win this one, he'll come back for game 5.
Yeah.
Has to.
But I think Timberwolves should go that. But I just want to talk about before we move on from that. How defensively good Golden State have been this playoff series.
Yeah.
They haven't had a team score more than 110 points against them. Most times they're keeping their under 100 or just over 100. Draymond Green, defensively, is still a beast.
Yeah.
Just because he doesn't know how to do anything in the forward half.
For a team that plays small ball and can be this defending,
Just don't get fouled
it
out.
is impressive.
Just don't get fouled out.
Hey,
Because he did that last game.
who's getting traded this offseason?
Draymond.
No. Kaminga.
Oh, yeah.
Look what he's
Bye-bye.
doing.
He's
No,
poo.
but look at
He
his
scored
series.
30 last game.
He's literally been your best player of the series.
Well, Butler.
No, Butler or Healed.
No, Hill's been trash.
Healed was awesome in game 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
game
and
2
he's done
3,
nothing
he's
since.
Done the bloody healed. He's gone missing.
He's just done nothing.
But we've got plenty to look forward to. But let's go back to Australia. We just had the Trans-Tasman Challenge between Australia and New Zealand. Australia winning the series 2-1. They won game 1 and game 2 in Australia in Adelaide and Sunshine Coast. But in game 3, they lost in New Zealand in Hamilton. But it was good to see Australian basketball back, looking dominant. I think Stephen Adams was playing for New Zealand.
He might have been. I guess he's just come back from these.
Well, he's
possible
fresh,
injuries.
so
Possibly. But it was quite a good series. They looked comfortable. But I want to bring up a player who I've seen gone around. I saw him back in February when I watched the Asian Cup qualifiers in Traralgon. And it's a 24-year-old named Elijah Pepper. Now, Elijah Pepper, he's come back from playing 5 years college basketball in the state. He played for UC Davis, so it's the University of California. He declared for the draft in 2024, went undrafted, unfortunately. Since then, he's come back to Australia to play basketball. He played originally, he came back and was playing for Perth Wildcats, come off the bench, didn't get much minutes. People not sure how he would go. He played in the Asian Cup qualifiers in Traralgon against Indonesia and Thailand, where he dominated. I think he averaged 24 points. But since then, he's going to go play NBL 1 for Warwick Sentinels in the NBL 1 North. He's averaging 43.67 points per game, 7.33 assists, and 7.33 rebounds.
That's my career stats.
that
Is Elijah Pepper the best Australian talent still playing in Australia?
well
With those numbers, yes.
with those numbers, yes, but then you also take the fact he has to play NBL.
Yeah, but he barely got any minutes because he came
Well,
back. He came back
hopefully-
through half of the season.
Hopefully next year when the NBL 1's done, he's back and playing.
But
regular
even
NBL,
watching him
we'll
play
get
when
a
we're
go.
playing the Asian Cup qualifiers, he was playing with like Nick Kay and some of the big names they had there, and he was still the leading goal scorer. He's getting the ball. He's saucy with the ball.
Well, I think we'll see him. That was weird.
Sorry, did you just say he's saucy with the ball?
He's saucy.
It's the 2016 Ballers Life video. Anyway, no, he'll definitely get more of a chance in the NBL next year with those numbers, and if he's doing that with the
Yeah, if he
the
goes to the
qualifiers.
NBL and he, actually gets to play the full season and he shows it.
Because it looks like what's his name's leaving Perth.
Cotton.
Yeah, Bryce Cotton. I think they're saying he might go to Sydney. Is the rumor I heard on Melbourne?
I heard overseas.
No, because he's going to go play overseas and he's coming back.
Okay, then probably you play. Sydney had the most money for it.
United have shipped off Daly, so you might go to United.
no.
Daly's poo.
Yeah, he won Finals MVP though.
Yeah, and he gave it away because he lost.
Who cares? Anyway.
Willie, what are you doing?
Drink her own urine and lick the floor.
Why on earth are you brawling in the streets before the game even starts?
So you're
Somehow not number one.
You're just massive.
All right, we're back again at the final part of the show, the favourite part of the show for all of us. Melon of the week. I couldn't think of a different melon. Watermelon of the week this week.
Yeah.
Can we do watermelon? I mean, rock
No, we
melon
did
last week.
rockmelon
Rock
last
melon,
week.
time for watermelon.
There's not many more melons after this.
Well, that one.
We'll find one.
Anyway, you should know what melon of the week is at this point. It's where we find 5 different cases in the sports world that are
People, organisations, countries now.
Countries that are involved,
countries that
yes.
managed to get involved in this, which is impressive. Who wants to kick us off this week, boys?
I think I'll kick us off this week. Now, number 5 is Thomas Hurtle. Now, he plays for Vegas in the
Yes, Vegas
NHL.
Golden Knights.
Yep, and getting into the latter part of the season, in the
Finals, yep.
he's going to be heated. Everyone gets a bit heated. And Thomas was coming off after getting a bit heated. So heated that he threw his hockey stick straight into his team trainer.
Left a good mark too.
Oh, it sliced him. He's now got a slice.
It's a pretty powerful weapon.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially when you throw it, it's pretty.
Also,
Just-
it's been
just like you're just
shaved
javelin.
on ice for a whole.
That as well.
It's like you're just a javelin.
Now,
Curved javelin.
oh my god!
Great.
Thanks, mate.
Keep
Anyway,
going.
Thomas.
Curved like Mike.
Sorry. Oh my god, Thomas, you can get heated. You proud yourself with that one.
Yeah.
Thomas, you can get heated, but don't throw your hockey stick at your team trainer.
No.
It doesn't matter if it was an accident. You obviously could see him as you're walking out. Why the hell are you throwing your stick afterwards? Thomas, you're a melon.
At number 4, we had the semi-finals of the W League or the Women's A League on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday's game was between Melbourne City and Western Sydney Wanderers. Melbourne City had done a undefeated season, hadn't lost a game, was 3-all in the first leg, come back to Casey Fields, 0-all in the 120th minute.
Do you mean Central Coast?
What?
Central Coast?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I said.
No, you didn't.
What did I say?
Western Sydney?
That's what I said, Central Coast.
No.
I didn't hear.
Sorry, Central Coast Mariners. Apologies if I did say it. But Central Coast, 120th minute, going for a run, looking to push forward. But one of their players, I can't remember her name. She's gone for a run. She's offside by about probably 2 meters.
It was no. I'd say further, nearly.
She was offside by a fair bit.
Line ball at 2.5.
Got through, scores the goal. We're just waiting for the flag to go up. No, the linesmen don't put the flag up. And because there's no VAR in the Women's A League, the goal counted. Central Coast Mariners got through, won 1-0 in the 120th minute. So I just want to say, the Women's A League linesmen, how blind are you to have missed that call?
I think a person that is actually blind would be able to see that.
Yes.
Oh, it
you can
was
see,
so far
hear the
offside.
patterns.
You'd be able to hear the feet going and be like, yeah, that's not normal.
So first of all, the linesman is a melon, and second of all is the A League for not giving VAR to the Women's A League because they're being stingy and don't want more cameras.
Well, they are playing Casey.
Casey's got barely got reception.
we can still figure it out. We can get PTZs out.
I
there.
struggle to get data out there.
We can.
It's very
You
far
don't need
away
data. You
place.
got PTZ that's on fibre and SMPTE cables. So that's nerd talk there for cameras.
Nerd.
Camera nerd talk.
That's
so,
it. You're melon of the week now.
So to the Women's A League linesman for missing that terrible call and costing Melbourne City an undefeated season, you are a melon.
Moving on, number 3. This is the country I'm sort of evading to. It's not really the country's fault. Well, it is, but in the sense of what we're talking about, the IPL, Indian Premier League.
BCCI.
It's definitely the country's fault.
In the initial part, but
They
what we're,
caused this.
in this little thing we're talking about, it's definitely the IPL's fault. We're all aware of what the IPL is. Massive T20 competition. It's been going around for 15 years now, probably.
Something like that.
Fair while. They're very proud of it. I'm probably a little bit too proud. If they want to keep playing this competition in India whilst India and Pakistan are on the brink of literal war.
It was good. Good timing. That. Did you also shortest war of all time? Well, not all time, but
No,
1 week. But it's
No.
already a ceasefire.
no, the ceasefire's already been broken.
Oh, good.
No, it's not a thing. Yeah, it's going.
Great.
It's going to happen.
Good, India. I understand.
They hate each other.
IPL, and I know you love cricket, but like Jesus Christ.
Don't put it 30 kilometres from the border too. That's maybe just the worst idea ever.
Hey guys, there's active
Public
bombing.
event 30 kilometres from the border. Genius.
I wonder what you do there.
And then you took the players from international countries like, no, we're not playing with there's a war going on.
No.
Smart.
Really?
It's the first thing the Poms have ever done smart.
Well done, England. Let's go.
First of not
First
many.
congratulations on this podcast.
It's been pure abuse. Anyway, IPL, Indian Premier League, BCCI. No. Worry about the bigger picture that's going on in your country.
No. Bombings aren't threats.
It's just more dirty than it originally was.
Oh my god.
That's beep that.
Cut
Hold on.
that.
Sorry, hold on. Let me beep it again. There we go.
I'm going to keep going here. Number 2, somehow not number 1 this. When we think of the Showtime Lakers, you probably think of your Magic Johnsons, your Kareems, your James Worthies. Forgotten role player on that team is Byron Scott.
Good role player.
Very good role
I
player.
know him as the coach of the best New Orleans team.
He was very good on 2K, Byron Scott.
Yes, underrated 2K player on the all-time Lakers. It's a good call.
Yeah, now can we stop praising him because he's had
Not praise.
I don't know why he's hung on to this this has been hung on to for nearly 40 years. But Byron Scott has been accused in a lawsuit of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old at Studio City's Campbell Hall High School in 1987.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Allegations.
allegedly. Do you want me to read what the report says?
Yes.
yeah,
read
just,
it, Rob.
we can bleep it.
yeah. Hold on, let me get the sensor ready.
The former student alleges that Scott escorted her into a janitor's closet and that, according to the lawsuit, he began kissing her on the mouth as she repeatedly asked, "What are you doing?" Then, despite her clear protests, Scott pushed her to her knees and, against her will, pulled up the top. Scott then pulled down his shorts, exposed his penis, and tried to force her to perform oral on him.
That was actually good timing the last
I think I got the beefs at the right
I
time.
may have not heard any of that, but
There's good reason. It is on Central, not Centel. So
that's why I read it and I thought it said NBA Central, and then I double checked and it didn't.
I feel like that would be a suitable offence. If
Worst thing about this is Scott's attorney says he believes she was over 18 at the time.
yeah, that doesn't make it any better.
Doesn't
mate.
make it better that you
Still did it.
It's like, oh yeah, well, let's take one brick out of this house. There's still a house full of issues.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
Yeah, good, thank you. Well on time then.
Byron Scott, I don't know how you're not number 1 for this, but you're right, Mel.
It's a miracle. Somehow this has been trumped. We're staying in America. Number 1 man of the week is a guy named Avante Williams. So if you don't know who he was a safety for university schools, Miami and Maryland.
All about the U.
He was once ranked one of the top prospects as a safety in the country. But he has recently been arrested and charged with second-degree murder in a shooting death of a man over the weekend in Florida.
That's good.
So police have reported that the 32-year-old Crescent Harris of DeLand was shot and killed as a bartender was also injured in the shooting. This isn't the first time this guy has been in trouble with the law. Back in 2021, he was arrested on 3 counts of aggravated battery of a pregnant person.
Oh, that's just Avante.
But charges were eventually dropped. But
Avante.
he hasn't had a good run.
No, he might be a bad
Well,
person,
I think it's not about the run. I think it's about the person.
So apparently, it happened Saturday morning at a bar in DeLand in Williams' hometown. Witnesses told investigators there was a fight between several men inside the bar, and during the fight, one man pulled out a firearm and started shooting. So Devante, for causing second-degree murder, and also for what
second-degree murder.
and for also what you did a couple of years ago, and thinking that was the reasonable idea to pull out a gun in a bar, you are our melon of the week.
I do love the fact you said had a bad run.
I think
he's just had a bad run. He's just a bad run. He's just murdered and tried to burgle a pregnant person. You know,
I think that could
I think
be.
he's a very
bad run.
I think he's a very bad man.
Don't think he's going to
not
be playing
a
the
nice
NFL
guy.
anytime soon.
I don't think he's been playing for a while now, mate.
Really?
Actually, no, the characteristic of the NFL to let him play.
He wasn't very good of a safety if he's doing this stuff.
Well,
Unsafe.
He's very unsafe.
Oh boy, what some melons we had this week.
Good
Oh.
run. Good run of melons.
We haven't had a good one like this in a long time.
Well, last week was pretty good. I was thinking.
Oh no, last week had some good ones.
Good back-to-back good ones.
We had
keep,
Taron Thomas last week.
let's keep this run going, guys. Keep bringing us great content like
We
this.
could probably compile a top 5 of Melon of the Year soon, I reckon. Just to
When we get to 52, we'll go through all of them and go.
We'll audit during tax time.
Yes. The tax man will pay for the melons.
Yes.
The 100 melons we're going to ship off
Hold
to
on,
the
let's see
winner.
if we get some more melons. What's next week's melon?
Cocoa Melon.
Cocoa melon next week.
No, you did cocoa melon last week.
No, we didn't.
No,
We
we
did
did
rock melon.
rock melon.
No, because you said cocoa melon. Someone said cocoa melon.
I said it
last
as like a suggestion. Hold on, let's see. Cantaloupe is technically a melon.
week. That's rock melon.
Zucchini's a melon.
Oh, it's-
Okay.
Well, we're going to go by 2 names for rock melon.
End the show.
Muskmelon,
End the show.
pumpkin.
Citrullus
Pop good.
erigotus,
End this show.
crookneck pumpkin,
Shut up.
Shut up, Chonty. Enough.
pumpkin of the week.
Oh,
That's the Halloween edition.
Ooh.
that's enough. Good pod, boys.
Hold on.
Well done.
Thanks.
We got through there. Thanks, Steen.
Oh, I'll pat myself on the back.
We did well.
Just go prank.
Oh, no.
We got there. I'm Ethan Stone.
I'm James Eyles.
I'm John Tipperary.
Stay Nuffin.